Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Rampage versus the Crusaders. Team 1 being the Crusaders, Team 2 being the Rampage. Looks like the Crusaders might start off with some May Reaper Classic, but swapping to Winston on tank, which is a fascinating option. Somebody hits the basket, gonna be a lucky round for these folks. Oh, looks like we're headed back to the lobby. Wonder what happened. Alright, here we go. We are hopping right back in. Lijiang Tower, the Crusaders versus the Rampage. Team 1 being our Crusaders, Team 2 being our Rampage. Oh, looks like we're just in a custom game. Just kidding.
To the plan, and if you get into trouble, I'll bail you out.
Alright, looks like we've got some interesting statistics here.
I am loving this.
Alright, looks like the match is starting. We've got the Crusaders running some May Reaper with double shield. It looks like the Rampage will be running...
Round 1. Capture the objective.
Looks like the Rampage will be running some Rhine Diva to start off this match for us. Now, things are going to crumble pretty quickly here, I'm sure. For one team and the other, team fights at the beginning are usually going to be pretty rough. It looks like we've got a huge purple from the Rampage. Oh, and they lose their main tank right away. Minions goes down to a charge from Silence, but Silence is silenced by a sleep dart. It is now a 5v6 in the favor of the Crusaders. Oh, it looks like the Crusaders will win this first fight and turn it around just in time to cap point. Alright, this will push the Rampage way back to spawn. They'll get worried about losing point and having to cap. They'll have to regroup as full 6. Hopefully they can win a fight here without their main tank being eliminated. It'll increase their odds getting across the bridge. The number one disadvantage of the Crusaders running a team comp similar to the one they are is they have no boop ability. They can't really force this enemy team off the bridge, so if they want to get risky here with the swap to Rein Zarya, now the Rampage can get a little more face-to-face aggressive and they won't have to play as defensive in the background. Alright, they almost lost their May already. Oh, looks like we had a little bit of a swap here. A little bit of a rearrange. They've once again walled off their main tank. He will probably go down here. No, it looks like everything is going to be A-okay. We've got a fight right on the point. We look to see it's a clean 5v5 on point, looking possibly in anybody's favor here. The wall kind of necks everybody in. Oh, with the main tank falling on the Crusaders, this is immediately in the favor of the Rampage. Oh, we've got the nano on minions from Andromedus. He's swinging away, but he just cannot confirm any kills. There's a single kill that makes us an immediate 4v6. 5v4. It's going to be a close one. It looks like the Crusaders may turn this around on the Rampage. Oh, looks like the Reinhardt will be taken away. And it looks like there is a small possibility. This is still anybody's fight here, but with 2 ultimates on the side of the Crusaders and 0 or 1 on the side of the Rampage, things are looking like this fight can still be won by anybody here. Oh, the use of the Blizzard is a risky one as it clears up the point, but there's not enough people there to really close in on the fight here. Oh, the Shatter from Silence cleaning up the rest of the team. Voidmaster just absolutely wiping up the Crusaders. Or with the Rampage, excuse me. Crusaders hold point. Looks like minions on a lone charge. Oh, he's going to wait for the group. They've got a Doomfist. Can anybody touch point is the question everybody wants to know. With an immediate pick on their Reaper, the Rampage can really move in here and clean up the Crusaders. This could be a fantastic run. Alright, here we go. The Crusaders are going to dump all their ultimates just to keep the Rampage off point, but with the beat push, that might not even be enough for the Blizzard. With the beat, that's another one down for the Crusaders. The Rampage are now up 6v4 with a loss of their main tank, with a Diva following the team. Oh, another Shatter, but it looks like he gets no one. Oh my goodness, with the immediate turnaround from the Rampage, it looks like this round is not quite over yet. And the worst part about this for the Crusaders is they dumped every ultimate they had into that. And they still could not confirm the round win, which immediately puts the ult pool in the favor of the Rampage. Now, if we look DPS to DPS, it looks like the Crusaders have been doing consistently more damage, and they do have similar track records here, with both DPS only having a single kill.
Time to raise my APM.
With the fight beginning right away, we do see numbers are up with a wasted shatter from Silence again. Or no, that was from Minions, excuse me. Oh, with the Crusaders immediately up on the Rampage 6v4. It looks like this round may be over. No ultimates to really hold off this fight, and they're just getting picked apart one by one. The Rampage will lose round one to the Crusaders. There's still plenty of time for this comeback. With the Lucio stall on point from Mallard, that is an incredible stall. Round one may be over, but there's still time in round 2 and 3. Still anybody's game. And we saw a lot of damage come out toward the end there on Team Rampage, and I personally think that sticking with the Doomfist might be the beneficial choice for them here. If they can get those consistent picks on that Reaper, that immediately makes every fight have damage much more on their end. Alright, it looks like we're going to have the first team, the Crusaders, sticking with the double shield May Reaper situation. And looks like May Reaper from the other team as well, but instead of double shield, they're going to focus more on the Ryan Diva, probably try to get a little more damage in there. Try to rip through these shields as fast as they can.
Look at this team. We're gonna do great.
Now we've got really similar team comps here, and with the Rein Zarya, the Reinhardt on the Rampage is willing to get a little more aggressive as long as Mallard can keep those consistent speed boosts underneath his Rein.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, let's see, do we see the immediate speed boost out of spawn? We do, with teleport, plenty, the entire team moving together as a unit here. We see what's bound to be a fantastic fight come out of this. We've got a clean wall off. It's a, oh no, they all made it through. The better wall off on the Crusaders here from Nift. Nift keeping it clean. It's still a clean 5v6. Both shields crumbling. Ooh, Mui the first one to drop, making an immediate 5v6 in favor of the Crusaders. That's another one. With the Rampage down both DPS, all they can do is back up and pray they don't get killed. Minion's shield is gone. There's another pick on Minions. This will be a clean wipe in the first fight. The Rampage here may consider swapping off the Lucios. They may find it more beneficial to get their team in efficiently rather than faster. Voidmaster here waiting for the wall off on the first person to walk through. Hopefully the team can avoid being picked off in a one-by-one order. If they do the full push around, they will force the Crusaders to rotate to meet the Rampage in a smaller corridor. The Rampage rotating all the way to point in a fantastic back flank here. The Crusaders will be there to meet them, unfortunately, with a good wall splitting the team in half. Minions the first one to fall again, with the Crusaders ready to fight. It's an immediate 5v6 with the shatter ruined. He got slept through it. Tajidu hitting a fantastic sleep on the shatter. Alright, we've got the nano out. Mui is nanoed, but he cannot confirm any kills here as Voidmaster puts that blizzard in. The beat drop from Mallard in a 5v6. They are committing a lot of ultimates to this fight. Nift will possibly find the time. There goes Andrew through Andromedus with the shatter. Or with the grab, I'm sorry, with the Graviton Surge. Ooh, Silence charges Andromedus, and it will be in favor of the Rampage. All they have to do now is cap point. With a sole survivor fighting to survive on the point. KJY is ready to die to keep this point as long as he possibly can. Minions takes out the Reaper, resetting the Crusaders with the wall. There's another kill on KJY, forcing the Crusaders into a 4v6 situation. Looks like a fantastic wall from the Crusaders, just forcing the Rampage to get more time on point. The Rampage getting a bit spread out. Andromedus getting a little cheeky for the charge here. He does tank the first Fire Strike. Here comes the Sigma ult. Looks like Minions will go up into the air with the Blizzard close to follow from Nift, and the Rampage are just hitting Q on this. Absolutely massive shatter from Minions. The Rampage with the beat, both Reaper ults, 2 shatters. Gravitic Flux and Poyo will go down here. Poyo will fall to Nift. The charge from the back line from Silence, as he gets cornered in all directions, he will be taken out. He will be swept under the rug. Now if you look, you do see Minions falling behind, coming back to his team here. With a clean Maywall, they can farm ultimates here. They are down in the ultimate department with the Crusaders having 2 ultimates. We do hear Coalescence, but we do see a Nano Boost as well. Another Ruined Shatter with a freeze. Voidmaster falls to Taijidu. We've got a double Blizzard Nift frozen on point. Andromedus is gone, and so is Nift. It is a 4v5 in the favor of the Crusaders. You see Andrew here with a massive purple on Mui, taking him out of the fight, and the sleep on Taijidu with a kill on Minions as well. The Crusaders will turn this fight around, taking this to another fight. Rampage does have time to touch, but they are getting dangerously close to last fight potential for both teams. If the Rampage can successfully turn this around, they're getting danger close to last fight potential. Andromedus and Nift both early to fall, making it difficult for the Rampage here to successfully touch point without pushing themselves into overtime and stretching the team out. Will they be able to touch is the question. We see Mui on the front line struggling to take out Silence with the Gravitic Flux. It's going to be a tough one as half the team's picked into the air. Another Shattered Wasted, but with an absolute TK, it will probably be round and game for the Crusaders. That'll be 1 point Crusaders, 0 point Rampage. Fantastic round from both teams. The Rampage really coming to life. We will see how this goes in game 2.
Score 2-0. Ready for battle.
All right, it looks like we will get a Doom Tracer out of the gate with a Rhine Diva. Ooh, Minions busting out the Winston in a Sombra to suit against a May Reaper double shield combo. The Crusaders will not change their team comp, it looks, but it appears that the Rampage are going to come out swinging with a much more aggressive team comp. Now this team comp will be most focused on eliminating the Reinhardt as early as possible, getting rid of his shield to absolutely open the window for Nift. All Nift has to do is avoid sleep darts from Andrew, and he is clean and ready for the fight. We will be getting an early fight right out the gate, which is fantastic for both teams. Crusaders rush right to point as Rampage come around the corner. A sleep dart is hit on Poyo. He is sleeping on point. He will be woken up. Andromedus at risk of being booped here. He does get himself out of there. We will rush to the point. We see Silence waste his sleep. That's an 8-second window for the Crusader. No, excuse me, for the Rampage to get a little more aggressive. Nift sleeping on point. Nift will be the first to fall, making this a 5v6. The Rampage hugged the wall here, but with Crusaders on point, they've got to back up and wait for their teammate. Oh, Minions gets walled off. Another fantastic wall from Voidmaster. Jolly Biscuit will be the one to confirm the kill. And the incredible thing about this is Mui can farm his ultimate already halfway to EMP in a losing fight with Minions already close to boot and a shatter. Andromedus will be slept by Andrew, who does not miss a sleep dart. We will see Minions come in here. Now, with the Rampage spread out a little bit, it is a bit easier for the Crusaders to pick them off one at a time. Voidmaster, all they have to do is hit this wall over and over, which has just popped up behind Minions. But if Minions can just survive this, oh, it's going to be a close one. Minions will fall, unfortunately, giving Silence just a massive window to hit a shatter. Looks like the shatter may not have been necessary, as the team does seem to find a pretty quick win. Okay, it looks like the spectator bot here is freaking out a little bit. There we go. That was a little unusual. Sorry about that, folks. All right, we will see the Rampage coming in with the EMP Shatter, the double. But they are able to drop the beat. The Crusaders do hold this fight up. Poyo falls early, making this an easy 5v6. Oh, with the sleep on Silence and the possible kill. The only person with an... Oh, no. The Crusaders do have 4 ultimates. The only ultimate to come out of the Rampage anytime soon will be a Diva Bomb. Silence will charge minions, forcing minions to fall. With the Nano Boost, Silence is unstoppable. Nift will die alone on point. Andromedas falls. The bomb gets 2. The bomb is massive, eliminating a third of the team. But the Rampage just do not have the numbers right now to fight the Crusaders on this wall. The only person available to touch the point is Mallard, who's not booping. Taijidu coming up the front line. Taijidu and Mallard will both fall, making this a 3-map win for the Crusaders.
Victory.
The Crusaders do have a fantastic strategy of constantly sticking together, making sure nobody gets left behind or picked out by the group. We will go into a hiatus here as the next map is picked. I believe the next map will be an escort map. Alright, it looks like it will be an escort map, with Route 66 being the choice from the Rampage.
Traveling to Route 66. Ready for battle.
Route 66 with what looks like, let's see who's on defense. It looks like we will, in fact, have the Rampage first to attack.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Here come the Crusaders. They are running the same comp, the same consistent comp, but with a Baptiste this time instead of a Lucio. Now, movement won't be as important for the Crusaders, as they are hoping to win every fight and stall the Rampage in their spawn for as long as possible, with the Immortality Field making that a possibility. Oh, I now see that I wasted my breath as they've swapped back to the Lucio. They've got the exact same team comp they've been running, but we are about to see a very interesting team comp from the Rampage here, running double shield. Orisa Sigma with a Zenyatta and a Baptiste, really trying to keep up their survivability here. The Hanzo looking for early picks with a Tracer to probably clean up the supports in the back line if possible. Now, as we can see, the first slot for each player is damage done, and then damage taken, ultimates used, and first deaths. But the bottom 2 slots for our support players are damage done, healing done, ultimates used, and first deaths.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Now, we do see the Crusaders with a rather cheeky strategy. Instead of holding back on top of Big Earls, they instead all hug tight into the train car, looking to clean up an early fight. Oh, the Sonic Arrow on the train car will rip this plan apart, and I don't think the Crusaders are even aware that they've been spotted already. Nift looking to flank into the back line, hoping to take out Andrew. Nift does successfully eliminate Andrew. Jolly Biscuit and Nift in the back line. Silence falls as well. It looks like the Rampage will clean this fight up on the early side. Voidmaster running from Andromedas, but Andromedas will not give up. Taijidu does fall on the side of the Rampage, but with a massive spawn advantage, it doesn't matter how many players the Rampage lose. As long as the Crusaders are still down 2 heroes, they will lose this fight. The Rampage does clean this up early with 3.5 minutes still on the clock, winning first fight in 30 seconds. The Sonic Arrow from Mui really giving them the advantage in that fight. Nift dives deep into the back line here. Now, Nift is really playing with fire because one good shot could take him out. A sleep dart from Andrew could eliminate Nift from the first fight. Now, as we can see, the Rampage have already done leagues more damage than the Crusaders have, with the Crusaders hugging on top. Silence only getting to play a rectangle here, not really getting to do a lot of damage. KJY boops them up. Taijidu does fall. Oh, and the Crusaders do turn around this second fight, forcing the Rampage back into spawn. Mui will probably go down here as he cannot get away from Silence with Nift behind him, though. Both DPS make it out alive, with the remaining 4 of the Rampage falling. Nift is not done yet. Nift will continue to poke and farm those pulse bombs as fast as he possibly can. Alright, the Rampage will be hugging the top wall again, but KJY is ready for them. He will boop them off the high ground if need be. Through the tunnel. A massive purple from Andrew. The Rampage here will have to huddle up in this tunnel and pray that they don't get taken out. Mallard will be the first to fall to Silence. The Rampage getting hit by a massive purple, but Silence does go down to Nift's pulse bomb. Nift really hugging the back line of the Crusaders here, but he will fall to a boot by KJY. We see the Crusaders hugging the cart, making sure they don't get any extra space, while 2 are walled off. Minions will fall, but Mui will clean up Voidmaster and Jolly Biscuit. This is still a winnable fight due to respawns. The respawns here, the name of the game is the Rampage can lose fighters, but they'll get back almost 3 times as fast as the Crusaders from a long-distance spawn. We will get the ultimate out from Andromedus, and that will get the beat out from KJY, but will it be enough as Taijidu really does pop Transcendence? And it looks like the Rampage will be able to turn Fight 3 around in favor of the Rampage, with a possible stall here. Voidmaster does have Blizzard. Will he use it to prevent a first point cap? Andrew will fall to Nift, giving the Rampage room to move forward and eliminate the team even further. Mui and Mallard hug the cart as we see Minions and Taijidu and Nift just relentlessly laying into the Crusaders. The Rampage are on a rampage. We see them curling back as the Crusaders do run into their tunnel and hide. On the Rampage here, they just have to regroup. They will go up and around to try to claim the high ground over the Rampage. The Crusaders still leagues ahead in terms of damage, with Andromedus almost 5,000 damage, almost doubling second place. Andrew will get pulled away from the team, and he will be immediately eliminated. An absolute fantastic strategy from the Rampage. The Crusaders now being down their main healer, but will the Blizzard be enough to do it? They will get, Mallard will be booped, and the ultimate from Jolly Biscuit will clean up the Rampage. It is still a very close fight, but the Rampage will be able to come out on top. With 3 ultimates coming out of the Crusaders, the Rampage are still walking the cart to point 2. We see now Mui on the roof supporting Nift as he gets dirty, close and personal, ready to eliminate any Crusader willing to walk through there and die. They've missed the shield. The Crusaders will probably win this push here, as the Rampage are not quite set up, and Minions will fall to Voidmaster, with the Crusaders hugging the cart, just desperately trying to get every inch closer to that point. Andromedus just struggling to survive. He will fall to the Mei as she freezes through his bullet absorb. Mui will pop dragons, but it's not going to be enough. He will have to retreat, as him and Mallard are the only 2 remaining players of the Crusaders. No, of the Rampage. Taijidu out on his own. He will fall. The Rampage have 1 minute and 30 seconds to regroup and try to cap point 2 to get into a final fight, but with Minions falling to Andrew so early, that's at least another 15 seconds of a setback before the Rampage can push effectively. Now, the most important thing to realize here about the Crusaders team comp is they can sit behind that shield, and with long-distance heroes like KJY and Andrew on Baptiste and Zenyatta, they've got Jolly Biscuit on Hanzo, and with Mei being run by Voidmaster, they've got so much long distance that they have to wait for the Rampage to come to them, because the Crusaders can sit there and hold down their primary fires all day. With a massive pull, but no confirmations from Silence here. This really is the battle of the main tanks, as Silence and Minions both lead the charge for their teams. The Rampage will come through the back door here, but with an ultimate coming out of KJY, they will have to look out, as they will be just ripped apart, but KJY does fall, as does Jolly Biscuit, putting the Rampage in the lead in a 4v6. Both teams popping a Transcendence. This could still be anybody's game, with a Blizzard coming out from both teams as well. This fight is up in the air. Andrew and Silence fall. The Rampage are once again on a rampage and will clean up the Crusaders to cap second point. The Crusaders committing all their ultimates to that fight. They will now be at an ultimate disadvantage with Andromedus, Mui, and Mallard all holding their ultimates, with Taijidu already halfway to another Transcendence, as Andrew's only 10% to his Transcendence. With 1 minute and 30 seconds, the Rampage will have to walk this cart, or they will be unable to complete the point. The Rampage will really have to farm for ultimates here, as if they get picked early, they will lose 10 seconds of what is already a very small time bank. With the ultimate coming out of Poyo early, is that worth it, as he confirms a single kill on Andromedus? But with Mallard hitting a fantastic Immortality Field, Andrew will clean up Taijidu. It will be 2 for that 1 life, but Nift with the wall to protect themselves. They will be chased into spawn with only 60 seconds left on the clock. Is it possible they can push this to point 3? They will be at a serious disadvantage, as they've got the ultimates, but they don't have the distance, and with a serious spawn advantage coming from the Crusaders, the Rampage are really being backed into a corner here as they have to farm their ultimates. With the shield already destroyed from minions, but an early ultimate coming out of Andromedus, he will be able to clean up 0 kills. But with the dragons from both teams, and Mui falling to Jolly Biscuit, but 3 being killed by the Rampage can turn this fight around. The Immortality Field makes it possible for them to clean up every single player, including Silence, who's just struggling to juice every single second out of this timer that he can. It looks like the Rampage will have to fight for their lives here, as if they lose a single player, they will have to turn this over to the Crusaders with only 2 points of a cap instead of 3. Taijidu hugs the back of the cart to avoid being sniped, with the Rampage on top of the truck, ready to fight, ready to take the fight to the Crusaders and force them off the cart for as long as possible. They do have Blizzard to support this, and with overtime, the Blizzard will be coming out any second, as well as the Transcendence. Every single player with an ultimate will be pressing Q, as this is the end of the fight. This needs to turn out in the favor of the Rampage, or they will only cap 2 points. It is currently a 4v4, with the Transcendence coming out of Andrew late, keeping his team alive. Jolly Biscuit does drop Mui. It is now a 5v5. KJY does fall to Nift, putting the Rampage at a serious advantage here. If Jolly Biscuit does fall, which he will, Silence is now on his own, which he now will be eliminated. Voidmaster being the last thing between the Rampage and the win. It is anybody's game, but the Rampage are just ripping the Crusaders apart, and that will be the round, with the Rampage capping all 3 points in overtime.
Score 0-3. Switching sides.
Absolutely fantastic offense from the Rampage. They have come to life after losing the first round to the Crusaders. The Crusaders now will be coming out with what looks like a Tracer Soldier comp, which is fascinating, as that might not be the best way to go against a Mei Hanzo, as the Mei can rip this entire team apart. They will be swapping to Mei Reaper. That is much more expected from this team at this point, as the Hanzo really did come to life for Mui, and it looks like he may be staying with that comp.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
It looks like they may be pushing up close, as Minions really does go to hug the cart. Andromedus and Taijidu close behind, Mallard and Mui hugging the high ground, making it impossible for the Crusaders to get anywhere around this point without being spotted by at least one team member.
Attackers
Andromedus really hugging the far side here, getting very close to the door. He has to know he's been spotted up to this point. They will be hugging the bottom tunnel. Very similar to the strategy of the Crusaders, but with much less risk, as if things get too dangerous, they can just walk out the back. Now, Mui and Andromedus are hugging the train car here. They are hiding inside the train car, but with no sonic arrow on the side of the Crusaders, they'll have no idea other than a lucky guess that the Rampage are hiding inside.
Thank you, Baptiste. Oh, you're welcome.
Now, with Andromedus and Minions split, the team here only has 2 shields, but with these 2 shields, one without the other isn't nearly as strong as when these 2 shields hug together and alternate their existence to give the team longer time to fire without risk of being damaged. You see 30 seconds on the timer.
In 30 seconds.
we see that both Mui and Nift have almost caught up to Andromedus, but Andromedus' damage count is still just almost 10,000. So much higher than anybody else on the team, almost 2,000 higher than the people in second place, his own damage fighters, his own damage characters. Mui risking pot shots, looking for where the team is going to walk out. The interesting thing about this is even though the Crusaders did lose that fight, they are neck and neck in regards to healing per team. Both teams having almost 6,000 healing.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Thank you, Baptiste. Oh, you're welcome.
5, 4.
This round and then one more.
2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Alright, so we do see the Crusaders running out hot and running out fast, being pulled back by minions with a fantastic pull. Andromeda's holding the high ground, trying to get an early pick on any fighter willing to die. The wall off the Rampage does force the Rampage to move forward. If anybody gets frozen by Voidmaster here, it will be a death sentence. Jolly Biscuit does drop to Mui in a matter of seconds, putting the immediate Rampage favor in a 6v5. The Crusaders will have to back up if they lose their main DPS, but Andromeda is just risking it all, trying to confirm any kill that they can. We do see the Rampage hugging this cart, hugging that tunnel, both supports hiding out to avoid getting sniped. Crusaders will go for the exact same push. They will try to come right down main, taking out anybody that they can. They will come in close, immediately dropping Andromeda as they had nowhere to run, and Taijidu. It is now a 4v6 in the favor of the Crusaders. Turning this around is very unlikely for the Rampage, as they will fall one by one, forcing them into a reset, but holding the Crusaders over 30 seconds longer than they were held by the Crusaders. The Crusaders really coming to life, putting themselves slightly ahead in old advantage here, but not by much. This still can very easily be turned around by the Rampage. As Crusaders have a single player hug the cart is moving half as slow as the Rampage had it moving. They had 3 on cart at this time. It looks like Andromedus will be the first player to cap over 10,000 damage done. We see the fight will be brought with the Rampage on the high ground. They have an instinctive initial advantage, as the high ground is always the best place to be in any fight. With a Blizzard coming down early from Nift, forcing beat out, Silence will still fall. Oh, the Nano may keep Silence alive as he eliminates Taijido from the fight, both teams losing one of their supports. Minions does fall, putting this in favor of the Crusaders, but the Crusaders had to use every ultimate available. They already have farmed 3 more. The Rampage at a serious ult disadvantage here, with 4.5 minutes for the Crusaders to complete the run. We do see fantastic pushes from the Crusaders as they are relentless in focusing a single target at a time, refusing to let anybody in their sights escape alive. Now we do see the Rampage holding a very similar advantage here, where they want to hold that high ground very similar to what the Crusaders did. And they do, again, have very long-range heroes, but with the Crusaders being as aggressive as they are, the Rampage don't have that room to use that long distance. Poyo does fall early, canceling his Gravitic Flux. We do see Jolly Biscuit fall, as well as Transcendence jumps from Taijidu. Also, Supercharger has been used by minions, and the Crusaders will be wiped up one by one as they run out of time. Silence does get the lucky pin on Mallard and tries to reset, but minions will not let him escape, the vengeance for Mallard being completed. Now this is where the Rampage will really get to use their long-distance advantage, as the Crusaders have to funnel through either the tunnel, the mid-range, or underneath tunnels. They will have to come through one at a time, making them very easy to pick off from a Zenyatta or a Hanzo, or even a Mei with an alternate fire. They will be coming through the top tunnel. Andromeda's already spotting them. The Dragons coming from Mui early, making it very easy to force them out of that tunnel. Silence and Poyo will be separated. Poyo will fall, making it very easy to eliminate Silence. The enemy team does follow in close, but with an immediate 5v6, Andromeda's falls, making this a 5v5, making this very possible for the Crusaders to turn this fight around. Jolly Biscuit hugging the back wall with his ultimate, ready to fire. The Rampage regroup at the top with Voidmaster and Jolly Biscuit on cart, bringing a lot of damage in a very little amount of time. Jolly Biscuit leading his team, or second place behind Voidmaster's almost 9,000 damage. The Shatter will be coming out from Silence, but the wall will block it from everybody except for Nif. The Immortality Field will make the Death Blossom almost useless, but it lives just 1 second too short. The Rampage struggling to find any kills that they can, but they will unfortunately once again fall to the Crusaders. The Crusaders having slightly more time, but just barely more than the Rampage did in this moment. This is still anybody's game.
The payload has reached the edge.
We do see the Crusaders group up as a full 6 on cart as the Rampage are holding back in spawn, getting ready for a brand new fight. They will hold the high ground on the truck as we see it. It's a great high ground, and they can get distance and range as far and as long as they need to in order to eliminate the Crusaders at an earliest possible convenience. The Crusaders turn the corner with Andromedas once again pushing forward in that desperate attempt to clean up a kill early. Andromedas has the gold damage, but at what cost? Constantly putting themselves at risk of death, constantly keeping themselves out of the loop, away from the rest of their team. We do see a Gravitic Flux again come from Andromedas. We've got the Supercharger from Minions and the Window of Pain from Mallard. The Crusaders are really at a disadvantage, but with a massive nade from Andrew on the Rampage, this could still be a cleanup fight. Another massive shatter from Silence, and he will take Nift all the way away from the team. All the ultimates coming out very early in this fight with over 2 minutes left on the clock for the Crusaders. All they have to do is clean up this fight, and it will be a guaranteed win. A very close round, but it looks like this may be taking us into extra time. Extra rounds with nearly 2 minutes, 3 minutes now due to the win on the clock for the Crusaders.
Score 3-3.
Now, we do see both teams really popping off and coming to life on that offense, but it's the defense where each team seems to struggle the slightest bit more. Now, it looks like they will not be completing the final round. An absolute surefire game from every player. All players coming to life at separate times, really proving their worth in this battle, with only one more fight underneath each team's belt. We will watch as they go on to Hanamura. This is a 2CP map, Hanamura, meaning that each team has to capture 2 points, known as capture points, in order to get a point, and put themselves above the enemy team. These games often do take a very long time, as both teams have a tendency to mow down the opposing team in order to complete the round as fast as possible. Now, we have seen Andromedas getting lots of damage on the enemy team, but instead of getting that damage successfully without getting out, Andromedas still fell to each fight. Although they were building their ultimates as fast as possible, it wasn't worth it because of the instant picks they were getting off of Andromedas due to the overextensions. We do see something similar with Andrew and KJY. KJY being very aggressive in their approach to fighting the enemy team, looking for those boops, looking for those displacements. But is KJY getting the healing necessary is the question. Because KJY, while getting those boops and fighting the enemy team, is away from their own team and really putting their own team at risk of only having one healer. Andrew can only hit so many shots at a time. We do see a serious tank matchup between Minions and Poyo, as they are both very
defensive players, and if they get caught on their own, they are at risk of losing the fight for their team, as both tanks are of crucial importance for the enemy team. Now we will wait, with the current score being 2-0 in favor of the Crusaders, with every match being a hair close. Now, unfortunately, we will have to wait. We do see the Crusaders running a very old team comp. We did see a little bit of Orisa Sigma from both teams today. And with the meta being in constant shift rearrangement due to hero pools and the changing of hero pools and the introduction of Echo and the changing of the Overwatch League, a lot of questions are up in the air right now of what's going to happen to the meta of Overwatch. Will we see what people like to call another dive comp? Now, it looks like... Who do we have on offense? It looks like we will see the Rampage on the offensive again, with Jolly Biscuit running Echo on the Crusaders. This will be an interesting fight, as Echo has not yet been seen in this scrimmage. Once again, we do see the Crusaders running Orisa Sigma, proving that this comp is still not out of the meta. This comp was horribly nerfed as the shield nerfs came through, and the CC nerfs coming through as well just recently have made this meta a little more likely to succeed. Now we do see Nift on Torbjorn, the offensive Torbjorn being an interesting choice. We do see Tajidu on Moira as well, and Mallard on Lucio, putting the Rampage in a very unusual spot as they've got the Lucio in order to boost through the choke. But with Voidmaster on Mei, we will see that the Mei will wall off whoever walks in first every single time. Now, we see that Nift is now on Echo as well instead of the Torbjorn, and now swaps to Doomfist, with Doomfist truly being where Nift has shown to shine, especially on Lijiang Tower, confirming early constant kills on Jolly Biscuit during that game. We will watch as the Rampage will try and break through one of what is considered one of the hardest chokes in Overwatch, with a Rein Zarya comp. Rein Zarya, Doomfist, Reaper, Moira, Lucio gives them a lot of close damage in regards to killing as many people as they can as fast as they can. But with Jolly Biscuit in the back line, as we see here, that may be difficult, especially if Mallard or Tajidu gets picked off. Nift swapping to Mei, very indecisive on what he's going to do for this fight.
5.
Here we go, and it looks like the match will begin.
1. Attackers incoming.
Jolly Biscuit not holding the front line, but instead moving backward to be with his team, as we see Cupcake on Orisa on the first game of the evening. It looks like the Rampage will be coming around the right side and will already be taking massive amounts of damage. With the Sigma of the enemy team, Poyo already 330 damage. We see Mui probably will fall here. If he can make it out alive, that will be huge, but minions will be the first to fall to Poyo. Another fantastic wall coming from Voidmaster. Tajidu doing desperately anything to clean up Andrew on Zenyatta, but Andrew will confirm the kill as the Crusaders are quick to snap on anybody in the back line. We once again see a massive ultimate exchange here between the Crusaders being almost 20% ahead of each player on the Rampage, other than Tajidu on Moira, with an ultimate that is basically a glorified cooldown. It will be difficult for minions to land any shatters here, as the team is running double shield. KJY on the high ground, making it very easy for him to confirm any healing needed on his team, with very little oppression coming from the enemy team, as they cannot focus him down, as they do not have a lot of long-distance fighters. The team is now in a 5v5, with the Crusaders losing what is arguably their best player. their most aggressive defensive player. An ultimate will come out from Poyo. Andrew will drop as well. The Rampage may be able to turn this around even without a main tank on their front line. Desperately trying to confirm any more kills. The Rampage are getting slightly greedy, but will confirm the kill on Poyo. Mui will fall, but Jolly Biscuit will also fall. Cupcake goes down, and KVJY not close to follow. That will be a point A confirmation for the Rampage in just under 2 minutes. We will quickly rush to the second point as the Crusaders will do the classic and expected defense of holding top left. This is the best location to hold, as if the enemy team comes through main or the far side, the team, all they have to do is drop to the main point. Now it looks like the Rampage may be meeting them in close proximity here. Anything, just trying to land absolute pot shots on the enemy team here. They will be hugging this hallway, and this is going to be a close fight with Jolly Biscuit's Dragons just ripping Andromedus to shreds. Andromedus will fall, forcing the Rampage to have to hold this tighter. Moving back, Jolly Biscuit getting greedy, putting themselves out of position in any attempt to confirm a second kill. Voidmaster also moving forward. This is a 5v6 with Voidmaster on the front line for the Crusaders. The Rampage very spread out in a desperate attempt to confirm any kill. Cupcake may fall with the enemy Maywell boosting Nift into the air, making Nift unkillable.
The power of destruction.
An early blizzard from both Mays. Everybody is frozen. Minions falls off the point, but as does Jolly Biscuit. Taimu falls with Minions. Andrew falls with Jolly Biscuit, and the Crusaders will clean this fight up once again with Minions falling. Nift not far behind. Now, we once again see that even though they may be losing, the Rampage are dealing just as much damage as the Crusaders. We see lots of healing coming from Taijitu, but not as much from Mallard, where KJY with almost 5,000 healing, and Andrew only with 2622 on Zenyatta. We see the Rampage kind of burning their timer here, waiting for the full 6, desperately trying to develop a plan, a push through the point. It looks like they may be deciding they will get pulled forward with no picks. Now, Now, it looks like the Rampage will be holding point. Will they get the free tick? They will get a single free tick before Poyo drops. The Crusaders are going to successfully clean up the Rampage, but was the tick enough? Was it willing of the Crusaders to give up that tick? Could they afford to do that, as we have not yet seen their offensive? Andrew cleaning up Mui and Taijito not far behind. Nift will fall, but will get that kill on Voidmaster. The hardest part about capping a point on second is the massive spawn advantage for the defensive team. They can die early in fights and still be out by the end of the fight because their spawn is immediately behind the point 100% of the time. Jolly Biscuit really desperately trying to confirm any early kills as they are once again out of position and not up with the team. Andrew loading up an alternate fire into nothing as the Rampage push up back through the stairwell. Voidmaster already having a blizzard once again. Jolly Biscuit throwing those dragons in early, a desperate attempt to confirm an early kill. The Rampage move methodically. They will avoid being walled. The wall will be big as the blizzard was ruined by Nick's wall. The beat will be dropped by Mallard as the shatter, the absolutely massive shatter from Minions comes in, forcing the enemy team into a stairwell where Mui will just rip them to shreds. Is this the fight? Is this the push that Rampage needed to succeed? It looks like the answer will be yes, with the Rampage capping second point with a team kill with 1 minute and 34 seconds left on the clock. Now all Rampage has to do is hold the Crusaders for 4 minutes on the first point without a single push, without a single success. If they can hold the Crusaders here, they will win the map, bringing us to a 2-3. I'm sorry, a 2-1. Get so excited I get a little ahead of myself. Andromeda is somehow already out of spawn? Huh, very unusual. Now, we see, I can already tell you what the Crusaders are going to do here. They're going to do what is known as the TP wall strat. They're going to put a teleporter main in the doorway. If they do this comp, it's a very effective comp to eliminate the enemy team from opposing you at all, but often can only afford one free tick before the enemy team really gets into your face. It looks like they will be giving up on that strategy and will instead stick with the May Reaper that they know and love so well.
30 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Now, this will get kind of sloppy as we do have the Orisa on the high ground, her shield not being able to be utilized in the main corridor. The Crusaders are not going to wait. They're going to push up as far and as fast as they can. But will it be worth it? Can they confirm the pick necessary? With Poyo being walled, Poyo will most likely fall. Poyo does fall early, but is that enough to confirm this team win? This fight win for the Rampage. The Crusaders immediately losing their main tank being very important as the main tank's shield is crucial for the mobility of pushing the enemy team. Tajiru does get sleepy and will take a nap in the middle of the fight, but does awaken. Now this will get kind of sloppy as Minion's shield will fall. Excuse me, Andromedus is the one on Orisa. Minion still holding his shield strong. The Immortality Field coming in, hitting no one. Poyo will fall again, a 5v5 in the favor of the Rampage, but Jolly Biscuit on Reaper will just clean them up, and the Crusaders will win the fight and be able to cap first point.
Team kill.
We see some incredible plays from both teams. Jolly Biscuit not letting a single person out of there alive. The point will be given in favor of the Crusaders with almost 6 minutes on the clock from the Rampage.
Defense point. Objective B.
They will come strong in the top left with the swap from Andromedus onto D.Va in a desperate attempt to eat these projectiles and eat as much damage as possible. Poyo does get nanoed, and a blizzard will come from Voidmaster. The shatter from Poyo will hit 4. He will confirm 2 kills, but will be killed by Mui. Mui will clean up the main tank, but KJY will get the kill on Mui. The team will fall. Is that enough? Will the Crusaders already cap this second point? This may be a winnable fight. The Rampage may be able to turn this around, but with Jolly Biscuit's Death Blossom on point. Mui with a counter, but Mui and Jolly Biscuit will both confirm 0 kills. They will be able to turn this around, it seems. It's still anybody's game, but with Cupcake and Poyo falling, this will turn back in the favor of the Rampage. That eliminated almost an entire minute off the clock in favor of the Rampage. All the Crusaders have to do now is get 33% of the point to take us into extra rounds. Andromedus being out of mech is dangerous here as he is much more likely to be picked. Jolly Biscuit hiding on the Mega Health Pack. The enemy team with no idea that he's there. He will be moving into point what appears to be very soon. Mallard suddenly at risk as Jolly Biscuit is behind him. The immediate snipe from Mui, the sonic arrow onto the point, so the enemy team knows exactly where the Crusaders will be. Poyo getting close, again getting walled off once again. Poyo will be stagger charged by minions, but a massive purple from Andrew will put the Rampage at risk of running back. Jolly Biscuit does fall. Voidmaster's Blizzard does fall into the abyss that is Defense Matrix. We see a massive fight here. Poyo falling, the rest of his team still above the point. A shatter that hits nobody, but a nano will come through to connect on Poyo. Will it be enough? The Rampage dropping every single ultimate they have into this fight. Will it be enough? The bomb confirming 0 minions being slept immediately after a shatter. Poyo pulls ahead in the ultimate charge, but will they fall? Poyo will fall to Mallard as Cupcake confirms a kill on Nift. Minions will go down. Minions will not fall. This is still anybody's game as dragons come out. Andromedus eating another pulse bomb from Jolly Biscuit. Mallard wiping. Andrew Mui killing Jolly Biscuit. This fight will fall in the favor of the Rampage. The Rampage may be making this fight look easy, but completing this many fights with a single take on the line is an incredible feat. Jolly Biscuit swapping and using that Death Blossom gets less ult charge and does put actually does almost put the Rampage at an ult advantage for the first time in this game. Voidmaster falls early to Mui, which is with a fantastic snipe, and that will force them to wait. If they push with the 5v6, they are asking for a death sentence, as Nift will eliminate the first person bold enough to walk through that choke. With 2 minutes left on the clock, this really is ticking down to the final wire. Voidmaster is back with a Blizzard, but Andromedus has been on top of the ultimate game, hopefully lucky enough to eat another Blizzard, putting the Rampage in a massive advantage. Andromedus will run from Jolly Biscuit, as Jolly Biscuit can eliminate any tank with a matter of shots. The wall behind the Poyo is frozen. Poyo will fall once again, putting the Rampage in a massive advantage. Taijidu takes out KJY, and it looks like Voidmaster's not far to follow. Andrew and Voidmaster falling. Even if the Crusaders are lucky enough to cap this, they will be at less time than the Rampage. The Rampage really coming to life on this defense. Pot shots coming from Voidmaster in a desperate attempt to farm ult charge. It looks like the Rampage are in fact at the advantage for the ultimate. The Crusaders have no time they have to do anything. They have to just run through down to the point and desperately try to farm these ultimates. They will come through the bottom. The enemy team does know they're there. They will immediately drop. Nift might die. With the immediate Gravitic Flux coming, and the beat forced out on Ballard early, Minions hits a massive shatter, with ultimate just pouring out in every direction. Which team will be the first to fall? Voidmaster and Poyo go down, almost completely confirming this win for the Rampage, bringing us to a 2-1 scenario. Andrew does fall late, making it almost impossible for the Crusaders to get a full grip on their team, a full 6 before pushing in.
30 seconds remaining.
30 seconds left. The odds are low of the Crusaders being able to turn this fight around, as the Rampage still hold that ult advantage just barely above the Crusaders, with a single Diva Bomb ready to eliminate the team at a moment's notice. There goes the bomb, but will it be enough? It will get 0 kills, unfortunately. Taijidu did farm that coalescence in the time we needed. Can they force them off point? Poyo will fall. Cupcake immediately behind. It looks like the Rampage will be able to complete this run. They will absolutely clean up the Crusaders from this last fight. The Rampage absolutely coming to life on this point B defense, bringing the series to a 2-1 win.
Victory.
Or a 2-1 scenario. This will be my last commentated game. I appreciate you all for listening. Have a wonderful night.